Hello and welcome to the live stream of Everton hosting West Ham United. For those new to the channel, please like and subscribe. For everyone else, thank you for your watching along with me today. So I've got my new microphone set up. So for everyone listening along, if the audio is having feedback issues or any recommendations on the sound, please let me know. What we'll get to first is the lineups for today. So a slight change in the formation for Everton. We have Idrissa Gana Gueye out injured, so Amadou Onana coming into that right central midfield spot. Even with a fit Seamus Coleman, Ben Godfrey is holding his place at right back. Jack Harrison is in his right midfield slot. Doucouré holding fitness quite well after some hamstring injuries, so he's back in today. And the major change for us is coming up front with Beto taking over from DCL. For West Ham, we have Areola as their keeper. No change there. Fabianski still benched. They're keeping a similar formation at the back. They did look shaky, but they're keeping with Kurt Zuma and, if I can pronounce this correctly, Konstantinos Mavropanos is the centre back player with Zuma. At fullback on the left side, they have Emerson Palmieri. He had an excellent strike from outside the box. First goal, I think, in his career, but proving he can be dangerous on that left side. On the right fullback position, we have Vladimir Kufal. Thomas Souček playing that right position on the right defensive central mid. On the left of the defensive central midfield pairing, we have Edson Alvarez, and their attacking midfield three in their 4-2-3-1 formation is Lucas Paqueta. He's come back in. James Ward-Prowse holding that central position. Mohamed Kudus on the right attacking midfield or right wing position, and Bowen up front. So tying into the live feed, where I have it here, the siren has gone off. Zcars is playing, and the squad is coming through the tunnel, and they're about to line up right there in the center of the pitch. What we'll look at next are the benches, so I'll bring that up here in a moment. And I'll have the ticker going at the bottom for the formation. If I've missed something, please let me know. But I think that's the Everton formation there. For the benches, this is what we have. So we have Coleman available on the bench, as well as Nathan Patterson and Ashley Young. So lots of defensive winger opportunities. Michael Keane, the ever-present fit player. We do have Andre Gomez back, which is excellent for some midfield options. What we also have is Yusuf Chamiti and DCL on the bench. So in terms of bench options, this is one of the best we've had for a while. And we do have Dobbin as well. For West Ham United, they have Fabianski, Aaron Creswell, Nayef Aguard. Some of these players I'm not as familiar with Ben Johnson and Angela Ogbonna. Calvin Phillips, with his move from Man City, hasn't gone too well so far. The ever-present YouTube opinion man of Michael Antonio on the bench for them. Divin Mubama and Danny Ings as well. So that's what we have on that front. So your question about what do I think of Beto starting? Funny enough, I was asking for him to start against Brighton because I truly thought he would be the player to do it. On a day like today when DCL, yes, he lacks form and he's done well against Crystal Palace in the past as well, and he's done well against West Ham. But honestly, I thought today would have been a day to start DCL again based on his performance in the past against West Ham. But maybe DCL's feeling something. But what I do think is whoever plays up front today, as long as they have a little bit of agility, Kurt Zuma and his Greek counterpart in the middle there looked really uncomfortable against Brentford, and they looked leaky. So as long as Beto is either able to run at them or isn't kind of getting stuck in grabbing contest, hustle and bustle, I really think there is a great opportunity for Everton to get at them. Uh, the other thing that I found really interesting is they were able to have little Brentford was able to score with Mope, and I think it was Wisser in the end got the other goal, but they looked really quite weak defensively. So irrespective of Beto, what I really think we need to do is expose. We have some big players. They have a couple big defenders, but we have Tarkovsky, we have Branthwaite, Onana's playing. We have set piece opportunities here, and what we really need is Harrison and McNeil to look for those channels between the left centre back and left back, so that kind of fullback slot, or on either the left or right side. What also seems, at least from my watch along, or what I was watching this week on the replay of West Ham against Brentford, their fullbacks love to go up forward. But just like the Moyes of the past, they like to do these little triangles. So what's quite interesting. I think I've got a bit of a delay for you guys. It says 4 minutes for kickoff for me. So unfortunately, the USA stream that I'm going on, they usually have a minute or two delay from the start. So if you guys wanted to tag along there, once we get close to the kickoff time, I'll give us the exact 0 minute if you wanted to watch along live. Otherwise, feel free to listen whenever you guys are comfortable. There'll be a little bit of a delay, I imagine, from my reaction to the live scores coming through from Twitter or X or any British coverage, and potentially those going to the match. So Peter Duggan bringing up that you'd rather Dobbin starting than Beto, more aggressive than DCL, but rather someone more technical up front because that's what DCL and Beto lack in front of goal. Yeah, I generally agree, Peter. That's where, especially on a match like today, with their kind of clumsy centre backs, I think just someone with a little bit more composure to maneuver the ball to make them kind of off balance and create that space, that's going to be huge. But yes, what I don't know is Dobbin as the striker up front on his own. Would he do that? The other thing to think about, and I guess we are not going to see it today, at least not starting off, is Chimiti seems a little bit more mobile right now than either of them, but I don't think he has Dyche's trust to start a match like this. So that's where I think maybe we get some maneuverability in from the likes of Harrison, McNeil, and Doucouré, but as we know, we haven't seen that consistently. And hello, Kevin. Welcome to the stream from Toronto. You're probably about 1 or 2 hours ahead of me. So when it comes to sound effects at the match, Emma, because I'm hooked in here and hearing my own audio feedback, and I don't want to have lots of echoing, I'm not hearing the live sound to the match. So if there's anything really key, if you guys are listening to my audio and video combination, or there's something going on in the match that you guys hear, then just let me know. So it's sounding like the game has kicked off, according to what Peter's saying. Again, apologies. I'm relying on the US stream, and I think they want to sneak in 3 minutes of ads right at the beginning, probably peak ad period, so they're right in there. So going back to the match. Okay, let's see if they've decided to do something a bit funny here. Okay, so apologies there. There was a weird lag on my app. We're actually at 2 minutes 55 in, so I'm probably closer. So right now I'm at 3 minutes. Okay, Godfrey's one claiming the ball, but Emerson with the throw in on their side. So I'm at 3 minutes 11. There was some technical lag difficulties with my app, but I am set up and showing live now at 3 minutes 20. Tarkovsky with the ball back to Pickford, comfortably won. Pickford pass to Onana, looking a little bit edgy, but I'm liking to see that. He actually was willing to make the turn. Okay, excellent first touch pass into to Harrison, to Doucouré. Now we have Beto on that right side taking on Zuma. Already Zuma looking uncomfortable with Beto. That's a good sign. Harrison with the early cross blocked. Looks like he's going to take it for a throw in. Onana on the ball. Oh, okay. He knocked it away, but so did West Ham. Tarkovsky's got the ball back to Onana, back to Tarkovsky. Looking for an option, not really having many. Going to right fullback. Long diagonal, trying to expose Beto against Zuma. Beto winning the ball again. So that matchup's lining pretty well so far. I know that Beto looks awkward, but I think he's doing slightly better than Zuma on the ball there. We went back on the throw-in. I know that's been a frustrating side from Godfrey. He always goes back. We are now back with the ball with Pickford to Branthwaite. I'm at 4 minutes 36. Back to Pickford. We are now with Mikalenko. Back to Branthwaite. A risky but effective diagonal to Onana. His first touch was sloppy, but he recovered. Now we're with James Garner on the ball, looking forward for a passing option. Onana was available, but he didn't use him. We went to Godfrey. We're looking really uncomfortable passing through the middle, but we're actually, Onana in particular, looking quite comfortable making the turns. Potentially a little bit uncomfortable, though, since his first touch has been a little bit off. Kuda's giving Mikalenko a little bit there and won the ball off him. So Mikalenko looking a little bit too complacent, unfortunately. And yeah, apologies there, Rupert. It is always the difficulty with the lag. I am watching on the Fubo app, which is here in the USA, showing the USA channels coverage. So looking at this one here, the Beto is giving this game a go right now, which I appreciate. His left-footed strike heavily, unfortunately, really overpulled, but going up for a goal kick. I'm at 6 minutes 15. What we are finding is that at minimum, Beto has looked really positive with his forward play. Hasn't really paid off yet. He has won a few of his contests and had some space, but has he struck the ball on target yet? No, but it's a positive sign. Okay, Everton winning the ball back on the right side, going quickly to, I believe it's Doucouré, crossover. Oh, almost on Beto's head. The Greek centre back just nicking to it. So Kufal bringing it up, overhit on his way to Bowen. Branthwaite wins it comfortably. Back to Mikalenko, back to Branthwaite. Looks like a pass back to Pickford. A little bit risky, but he handled it. Now into Onana, got a lot of space running forward here into the middle. Oh, that was sloppy. First touch pass given away to Alvarez. Doucouré not able to get to it. West Ham with the ball in the middle. Paqueta playing a little bit deeper for crossing options to Bowen. Mikalenko handled comfortably with the header back to Pickford. I'm on 7 minutes 15. So a quick throw to Godfrey on the right from Pickford back to. Okay, Branthwaite on the ball now. Going to Mikalenko. We're looking really positive with our first forward passes. We're not just hoofing it long the entire time. We are keeping the ball in possession. Garner's looking comfortable. Bowen chasing and doing a little shimmy and keeping space. We're looking a lot more positive on the ball today. Not as threatened as we did against Brighton, which is a good sign. Okay, Harrison through the middle. Ball to Garner now. Is he going to shoot? McNeil going out wide to Mikalenko. Back to McNeil. Back to Onana. And a terribly overhit sand wedge chip going straight to the keeper. So, Peter, I completely agree so far. The energy, the creativity, and breaking the lines, I'm seeing that with Beto. We know DCL can do it, but he just hasn't shown it recently. On the replay against West Ham earlier in the year, he looked a very different player than he is right now. Back to the game, though. We have Branthwaite on the ball. I'm at 8 minutes 30. Passing it to Garner, passing it wide. The movement of the midfield is looking a lot more comfortable today. It's not just straight back to the centre backs. They're turning, pivoting. I'm not sure if that's simply knowing that West Ham aren't going to press them as aggressively, but it is working. Tarkovsky with a horribly overhit diagonal from the right centre back position to left wing and overhit by must be 15, 20 meters. So potentially there's I'm not sure if it's windy conditions or not, but passing the ball low on the ground right now is seeming a lot more effective than the typical Dyche diagonal to a winger and knockdowns. Okay, Emerson on the ball, overhit. We seem to be handling Bowen so far. I don't want to jinx it, but the distribution to Bowen has not been good enough. Last week, it wasn't the first ball to Bowen that was effective. It was that their entire squad was coming up and excellent build-up play, and Bowen was available for cutbacks. So that's what we've got to be aware of. But for right now, we haven't seen it 9 minutes in. So Alvarez passing the ball back to the central midfielder out wide to Kudus, taking on Mikolenko on the edge of the box, crossing it back in on his left, comfortably handled by Tarkovsky. Here comes a shot. Okay, handled by Pickford. That was a good strike from Alvarez low to his right, but Pickford knocked it down. Alvarez looking disappointed with himself, but honestly, still a reasonable strike. Ball back with West Ham on their left side. Going back to Ward-Prowse for a switch up. Looks like it's going to Kufal at their right back. To Kudus, going to take on Mikolenko again. Does it comfortably. So this Kudus-Mikolenko matchup is making Mikolenko look really uncomfortable. I think that's something we're going to have to be really aware of today. I see that as their inroad to goal so far. Oh, that was an interesting play, slightly overhit. They were trying to use Emerson as the overlapping fullback. Almost worked out, but coming to Pickford. They're showing that replay now of the Alvarez strike. It was well hit. I imagine disappointed that he didn't get an extra 5-10% on that because Pickford was at almost full extension. So who knows? So we're doing some long balls to Beto. He's certainly making. I'm struggling with his name, Mavropanos. Their right centre back quite uncomfortable as well, but in this case didn't really work out. So they overhit pass back to Zuma. I think they're going back to Areola for a clearance. Definitely underhit. Here's an opportunity. Onana on the ball. Okay. Doucouré. Oh, that was unlucky. A little bit underhit from Onana and quickly pressured. Doucouré wasn't able to knock it out wide, but we are doing some really good first touch passing today. I think similar to what we were seeing against Brighton, but a little bit cleaner. Well, we do have a opportunity to check the keep an eye on the scores from around the match. Meanwhile, I'm on 11-minute 45 with Branthwaite on the ball. Going to Mikolenko. They're starting to try and press and trap Everton to go through the middle, and they're going back to Pickford a little bit more as a result. Pickford on the ball, one hand saying I'm going long, doing a diagonal to Mikolenko, comfortably handled on his chest. First time underhit, to Beto, and West Ham winning the ball back. Kufel on their right side, tucks it back, beats McNeil now to Alvarez through the middle. Doucouré and Beto not overcommitting. Now to their left side. Oh, that was well done by West Ham. Bowen on the ball now. The Bowen-Emerson combination on their left side is looking a bit more dangerous. Harrison blocked and carried back with Bowen, but it's a West Ham corner. Okay, pulling up some other match results at the moment. The only goal so far has been Newcastle, who are up. It looks like 1-0, but it might still be in contention because SofaScore has not added the score yet. So we'll keep you apprised there. Ward-Prowse coming up for the corner. I'm at 13 minutes and 5 seconds, cleaning off some mud from his boots as he sets up. Garner looking like he's set up on the back post. Okay, they played a short corner with a flick on. Looks like it was comfortably handled. Cross to back post looks comfortably covered. Unfortunately, John, I'm not sure if you're in the US, but my coverage is either through the USA app, which is through Fubo, or through cable, as well as Peacock, which is the NBC So it really depends on which match is covered by who here in the States. But anyone else on the stream, please feel free to help John out if he's trying to get access. Okay, so we're at 14 minutes. Zuma to Alvarez and back to Zuma. A very dead end pass in there, but very similar kind of build up play from both teams, playing those one triangles on the one touch, heavily overhit long ball. So I'm really curious. Mavropanos is hit. He apologizes for overhitting it, but quite an odd setup. Yeah, honestly, mate, I'm not sure from Thailand. I'm not going to confirm or deny any non official streaming accesses either, but I'm sure there might be a way for you. Um, Looks like we have Gareth Southgate in the crowd today. Imagine watching Branthwaite and some others. Branthwaite's ball to Zuma, and Beto comfortably handled by Zuma. Kuda's looking dangerous. McNeil not getting close enough to him, but certainly hassling him, and in this case, effectively brought it back to their centre back pairing, which is, I think, a way in on goal. Emerson is looking dangerous on their left side, but we are winning the ball back there. That was a good tag team. Onana putting some pressure in. Emerson with the throw in. One touch back to Emerson. Overhit to Tarkovsky off his shin. Branthwaite comfortably handled the second ball. Back to Pickford and a hoofball clearance to the halfway line. Beto and Zuma. Beto handled it pretty well. Doucouré with his lanky arms put some pressure on, but Alvarez is actually handling that quite well. Onana and Godfrey tag teaming. Oh, Alvarez is winning that ball. He's done excellent. He's on their left side, tucked it back to the middle to Paqueta, who's looking for Kufal. Overhit, and Kufal can't get to it. So good pressure from Everton. West Ham trying to carry the ball through the middle, doing reasonably well, but Everton's pressure making it a 50-50 contest. Garner winning the ball back up from off that throw in. Now it's with Pickford. I'm at 17 minutes. A little bit risky there, back pass play between Tarkovsky and Branthwaite, but handled with enough composure. So I think some overhit balls from both teams. But it is an interesting and entertaining match, a whole lot more interesting than the previous fixture against West at the London Stadium. It's now with Kufal. Well, that was a really well delivered cross, made it really awkward for both Godfrey and Tarkovsky. Godfrey in his new role as the right fullback, tracking back with the ball and knocking off his thigh for another corner. So, Coxie, I'm watching from the Fubo app here in the USA. It's basically a stream coverage of the USA cable channel. So we're at 18 minutes. Another corner for West Ham. They've started to apply a lot of pressure. Souček on Branthwaite on the back post, something to pay attention to. Free header. Ooh, that was the chance for their Greek fullback. So that was a delivery right through the middle of the box, and it wasn't Branthwaite's man originally, but he had to come in. I think Godfrey or Tarkovsky lost him. But we'll chalk that one up to a learning opportunity, but really we're bigger than they are, and I'm not sure how we let that opportunity come ahead. Their fullback should not have a free header in the box like that. Okay, Anana's in the ball, looking for James Garner, but he decides to go back to Branthwaite. Branthwaite's been a really good form of possession for us in this match. Mikolenko slightly overhit that, and Kufal covered it, but it's still a lot of sloppy second balls. Branthwaite looking comfortable on the header, but of course, unfortunately, back to Kufal on the right side. Unfortunately, Peter, I think that's St. Paul defending not like us at all. We have been letting a few of these slide recently, and the one against Brighton really scared me. And they scored from it, but they won a lot of headers, unlike us in recent weeks. But against Brighton, and I think today against West Ham, they've been winning headers. It's just a matter of are they putting it on target or challenging. So let's. Branthwaite's on the ball. We're at just at 19 minutes 45. Pass to Garner. He was double teamed from, it looks like, Sufal and Bowen, so he couldn't make the turn. Tarkovsky, a long diagonal. Looks like there may have been some contact there, but no call given. Doucouré hands up in the air. Beto's chasing, really effective, winning the ball back. So back to Mikolenko, to Garner. Pass into Doucouré. We're definitely finding spaces in the middle here, which is really positive. Tarkovsky to Harrison now on the right side, being double teamed by Paqueta and Emerson. First time cross, looks like back post. Beto! Oh, that was Doucouré. Sorry, it's small enough I can't tell sometimes between Doucouré and Beto until they zoom in a little bit closer. That was a first time cross by Harrison on his opposite right foot, so quite good there. It went to the back post, and Doucouré made it awkward for Areola, who struggles aerially, but the second ball went to Mikolenko, and he couldn't do enough with it, unfortunately. So let me update the ticker, which I haven't added and updated so far, but it had been 0-0 for a little while. So the ticker should be going through on the bottom. I believe it's the only score so far, and I can double check, is Newcastle 1 up against Wolves, and check that. Fulham have also scored against their opposition, who are Brighton. So a few 1-0 scores so far. So Anana's on the ball. We're at 21 minutes 30. Harrison right on the 18-yard box, an overlapping run on Godfrey. Looks like a clumsy challenge by Emerson, but no call given. Paqueta challenging Harrison. Looks like he may have a sore knee or a calf. He's looking quite proppy on the sideline here, and they're stopping the play until he walks back onto the pitch. Dice not looking too concerned, but sure that'll change. Okay, well won by Tarkovsky. Ward-Prowse beat him the first time, but his second effort got it back. Doucouré put in some pressure. Doucouré and Onana, that unfortunately sometimes being the bigger player or bigger in body, the fullback falls over and gets a cheap free kick. That's what happened there. That was the right kind of pressure. Emerson basically just knew he was in trouble, fell over on Doucouré, threw his hands up in the air and got a cheapie. So balls with Kufal to Kudus, who's taken on Mikolenko, but Branthwaite was there to cover. Branthwaite playing excellent today. Beto overhit it to Doucouré off the chest, back to Onana, striking from distance, and blocked through the middle by Alvarez. So not much venom on that after the deflection. Areola has it now, given to Zuma on 23 minutes. Your Kakiri, I see that happening for sure. He's been the danger man, but I think really aware defensive preservation there with Branthwaite has made that okay so far, but now it's a matter of does Bowen or someone like who are we thinking? Paqueta, if he swaps with Ward-Prowse through the middle, if they have an extra man to think about through that middle, I'm not sure if Branthwaite can cover Mikolenko as much. Mikolenko's starting to play higher. There was a long diagonal right there to Mikolenko winning the throw in, but as unfortunately we're getting really used to now, and it's starting to annoy me watching. With every time we win the ball up forward, we just throw it backwards. We hold possession, but it's right back to our centre halves. Tarkovsky with space. We had McNeil. First time shot. Let's go. Oh, that was the chance. Areola blocked it. Beto not looking comfortable with his opportunity. So it was a short pass through to McNeil and one touch to Beto. He didn't strike it with a lot of conviction. He hit it on target, but it was scuffed right to the feet of Areola. So honestly, any keeper with anything should be saving that. And guess what? Areola did. But that was my best opportunity of the match, scuffed by Beto here. I'm now at 24 minutes 35. Watching that matchup again between Beto and Zuma. Beto's doing excellent winning that ball back. And he's won a free kick. Okay, so we're on the right, probably about 20 to 22 yards out at 24 minutes and 50 seconds. Beto finally earned himself a free kick due to Alvarez nicking his clipping his right side, and then Zuma knocking him down as well after he awkwardly falls on the ground. So we're going to see who makes this takes this free kick. From my side, they're not showing who's going to take it yet. Looks like at least 3, maybe 4 in the wall. Appears like we have Harrison. Who else? So Garner, Harrison, Tarkovsky walking by just to give his opinion, and it looks like he's going to setting up on the usual back post there. So it looks like it's between Garner and Harrison from what they're showing here. Harrison backing up with more conviction. Garner just standing on the ball. Now Garner's backing up, so if it's Garner, it's going back post. Garner's got it. Back post to Taki, but comfortably covered. Head won by Onana to McNeil, back in. Is it in? Oh, no. From that angle, it looked like it was going in, but exact opposite direction. Looks like Everton have won a throw-in after the clearance from West Ham. We're looking at just on left-hand side of the halfway line. It's back to Jimmy Garner, who's passing it to Tarkovsky. All right, Peter. Have a good one and catch you in a bit. Okay, so Harrison chasing at the feet of Emerson. That one looked like a more legitimate foul than Emerson's previous call, where Harrison nicked the ankle. Linesman called it. Yeah, that was a foul, unfortunately. Emerson held his ground, and as Harrison was trying to apply pressure, wiped out his back foot. So always got to be a free. I'm at 26 minutes 50. Everton 0, West Ham 0. West Ham have had largely the better play in terms of going up front. Beto did have probably the best opportunity of the game, but scoffed his chance. Onana's headed to Godfrey. Godfrey shanked it out of bounds. Waves to apologize, but unfortunately we know his distribution by foot is one of his the weak points of having him as a right back. So Emerson has the ball for the throw-in. We're at 27 minutes 30. Toward Prowse to Bowen. Some really good link-up play there on that left side. Godfrey chasing. Oh, and he megs Godfrey, but Godfrey recovers. He's going towards the corner flag and then clears it off Emerson for a well-fought goal kick for Everton. Showing some standing ovations for Godfrey's second efforts. Quickly over to Mikolenko. His first touch was good. I think he got caught in second mind, or not sure what to do, and ball accidentally went out. So it's on the right side. Kufel, their fullback, has it here at 28 minutes and 10 seconds. Emerson's on the ground. Looks like it may be an injury, and they're stopping the game for that. So while they do that, I would say a break for our sponsors, but I think for what I'll do is say for all those watching, if you haven't done so already, like and subscribe. If you're enjoying what you're seeing here, we are going to also be having a match reaction show, probably 5 to 10 minutes right after full time, where I'll switch over and I'll join with a few of our other panel hosts, where I'll be co-host with Steven, and then I think we might have Chad back from Jamaica to have his say as well. So it looks like the injury to Emerson is going to carry for a little bit. Either is looks like it's not a hamstring, maybe it's right under the knee or on the calf. This seems like a good time to do some score checks. So the scores have remained unchanged, but Newcastle are up 1-0 against Wolves. Isak scored on 14 minutes for them, and Fulham scored against Brighton through Harry Wilson and an assist by Rodrigo Muniz. So here goes my theory for bringing in Emerson for my fantasy football team this week, but good thing I held off on that instinctual decision. Moyes certainly looks worried with a bit of a squint on his face. I think they're down to 10 men while they decide who they're going to bring on while the game is back in play. The throw-in won by Doucouré. Ward-Prowse now has it. We're at 29 minutes 55. Paqueta kind of playing as a proxy left back. I'm not sure if he is left-footed, but his left foot cross was overhit to Pickford, who's quickly testing Zuma. Comfortably won with a header. No one was close to him. Paqueta looking quite creative on that left side, testing Mykolenko now. The header goes to Kudus. Through to the middle, we have Suchek. Now Alvarez on the ball, passing wide to Ward-Prowse. Kufal back to Ward-Prowse, into the middle for Alvarez. Positionally, Everton looking pretty comfortable right here, letting them switch the ball around. But surprise, surprise, we have a man advantage. Well, Paqueta is playing a proxy left back. Hopefully you don't mind Everton caps as well, Emma. I'm getting some Everton swag coming in, so I don't just wear the same blue shirt every time, and that's why I'm often wearing the hat so I can have a bit of variety on my streams. Okay, we're at 31 minutes and 18 seconds here. Throw in to Everton on their left fullback, so Mykolenko doing the throw in. A long one to Beto, but won by Kufal, who was goal side. A long ball up to Alvarez to Branthwaite. We now have Kudus winning the ball, but triple teamed and won back by Everton. Right through the middle here, Harrison's got the ball. A dink over the top, and Areola get into it, but a really poor clearance. Doucouré dinking the ball off Kufal for a throw-in on the left side. So Branthwaite's got the ball now, back to Pickford, back to Branthwaite. And well played through the middle to Garner. 2 touch, 1 touch. Okay, here we go. Up to Mykolenko. A little bit overhit by McNeil, though. And again, West Ham not looking that comfortable on the ball at the back. And instead of trying to play it out, just gives it away for a throw-in. McNeil to Jimmy Garner. Garner to McNeil. Who's going to do a first-time cross. Tucks it back. And out for a throw-in. So I think I do have an Everton beanie. I have one of these old Navy ones from about 2008. I've been raiding the house trying to find where I put it in an old sock drawer, but I do have one. I just need to find it. Oh, good, Emma. At least I'm wearing an Everton hat, not a dark black cap. So it is raining here in at Goodison. I can see that off the camera, so probably quite a wet and fast surface. Corner to Everton. Onana winning the ball back to Harrison on that right side. First time to Godfrey, and pass to Harrison. Is cross blocked. This is a chance for West Ham now on the counter attack. Kudus running through Godfrey on a recovery pace. Is he going back post? Oh, potential handball shout. Nope, not called. Okay, that was good. Doucouré now on the ball. I wondered if they're going to do a VAR check. His hands were down, but it certainly hit his hands. Kufal crossing, comfortably handled by Taki, but not a good clearance, even if he comfortably got to the ball first. But they didn't make too much of it through Souček in the middle, and it's back with Pickford. I think the right move by Pickford there, throwing the ball instead, trying to keep this ball on the ground. The balls have been overhit a lot today on these long diagonals, so using them sparingly is probably a little bit more effective. Tarkovsky on the ball now. Okay, lower diagonal over to Mikalenko, bounced once off his chest, into the middle to Jimmy Garner again. Back to Branthwaite. On that left side, we're looking quite comfortable passing. The right side, not as much. Okay, McNeil to Mikalenko. He's tucking in now. Does he shoot with his right? Oh, he does, and that's where we realize he is left-footed, everyone. That was a, unfortunately, poor strike there. Little bit of a midfield scrap. James Garner winning the ball again. He's looking a lot more comfortable today. I think midfielder-wise, we're actually arguably equal. I'm not going to say better right now, but we're holding the ball, turning and going, having more of a pivot movement in the middle, which is good to see. But quite an exciting match, honestly. I was expecting a lot more of a dull match, but it's not the 3-0 that Robbie thought or the 2-1 that whether Robbie I thought now. Paqueta on his usual antics, getting annoyed with Doucouré. I think didn't like being hassled. There is a free kick one, and it looks like it's pretty deep, right around the halfway line, a little bit past it. On the left side, we have Ward-Prowse, instead of crossing it, just goes comfortably to their center half. To Kudus on the right with an overlapping run by Kufal. Doesn't use it. Goes into the middle. Zavro's got a strike. Nope. A short cross covered by Tarkovsky. Straight to Harrison, and we're on the break here. What are we going to do with it? Okay. A diagonal to Doucouré. This might be a chance here for Blues. On the right side, Doucouré, what's he going to do with it? Runs into the middle. Does he use his left foot? No, he passes wide to the left side to McNeil. And quick cross, deflected off the left instep of Kufal for a corner for Everton. So looks like we also have some score updates while Everton are preparing for the corner. Chelsea are now up 1-0 against Brentford. So I will update there. So Chelsea up 1 against Brentford. We have Newcastle up 2-0 to Wolves. And I believe Fulham have also gone 2 up to Brighton. Of all the results, I think that's the most surprising score so far. But Brighton are a little bit hit and miss. Okay, corner coming in. Goes to the back post, deflected out to McNeil. Harrison back to the corner taker and Jimmy Garner. Looking for that pass back option, but couldn't keep it down to McNeil, so he had to take an extra touch. Trying to go out wide, but not showing his pace, and loses it to, I believe that's Ward. Oh, that's Bowen. And looks like a foul play on, probably a yellow to Everton here in a minute. Kudus in the middle to Alvarez. Kudus again. Now switching to the left side for West Ham to Ward-Prowse. Harrison winning it back, and good defensive awareness from Harrison right there to shut down the play. Onana on the ball to Tarkovsky. Now we have Jared Branthwaite on the ball to Mikalenko on the left side. Does a little tuck in to James Garner again. Extra touch. Long diagonal, but effectively hit to Harrison, who's going now crossing on his left. And unfortunately, a poor cross by Harrison. Good zip on it, but a bit too low. A forward moving throw in for Everton. First time in a while, so that's great to see. Zuma looking uncomfortable and knocked it out immediately for a throw in. So it looks like, and there we go, going backwards to Tarkovsky. I spoke too soon on our throw-ins, ladies and gentlemen. So Branthwaite on the ball now at 38 minutes 35. Tried his long diagonal, but a little bit too far out and Kudus anticipated and intercepted really well. Kudus causing Everton a lot of strife. Running through the middle now. 3 players couldn't handle him. He's going out wide to the left toward Prowse. A quick pass to, I think it's Paqueta. Paqueta on Tarkovsky. This could be interesting. Handled well and not overzealous. Really well handled by Tarkovsky. Paqueta can get a lot of cheap fouls, and that was well handled. It's back with West Ham at the halfway line. The Greek fullback on it. Passing to Alvarez. Ignoring the Kufal option to go wide to... Oh, sorry. It's Sufal option to go to Kufal. Suchek to Kufal, sorry. I get those guys' names mixed up all the time, so apologies there. Appears like it's a West Ham corner. The right fullback for West Ham is quite heavily involved in this game too, giving Mikalenko the second option sometimes on who to mark, because Kudus is really effective with his left foot cutting inwards. So sometimes we're getting Kudus coming into the middle and Kufal having that overlapping fullback run to keep Mikalenko busy. So I still think that's probably the best way in on goal. Beto looking comfortable on hold-up play, and looks like a foul, but called play on for Everton. Harrison on the ball now, going back to Godfrey, to Tarkovsky. Branthwaite on the ball now, passing the halfway line, looking for an easy passing option. Goes to the middle, first touch to Beto, first touch to McNeil, and a unfortunately poor cross by Mikalenko, who was that wide option. Recovered by Branthwaite off their clearance. Kudus and doing it again, taking on 3 or 4 Everton players and winning the ball. He's looking really dangerous. Jimmy Garner looking upset and thinking he didn't do a foul, but looks to me that he clearly elbowed him and knocked him out. Yeah. Looking back, I think Kudus wasn't winning that ball, so either you can say that Garner didn't touch him, but well played, and I think credit to Kudus for looking as dangerous as he is. So it's a free kick as a result of this on the West Ham side. So centre back doing one of his long crosses to the left side. Looks like he's going to Paqueta, headed by Harrison, and that double team, they're looking confident. Pickford going real early to... Oh, that's a great touch. First touch from Doucouré to Beto. Some of these first touches are a lot cleaner today. From Doucouré, that was an excellent first touch. Throw into Doucouré to Harrison. What's he going to do with it? Short touch to Doucouré. To Beto. Oh, that looks like a handball shot, ref. He did a little chip and it went right off Zuma, but that might be a VAR check. That looked like it could have been a handball, but his arms were down. Just not sure if his elbow was out away from his body. I'm at 41 minutes, 57. James Garner to Mikalenko. Mikalenko to Garner. To Branthwaite. Moyes doing some kind of hand gesture on the side there. So the play stopped and they're showing the replay. Oh, that should be that looks like a penalty to Everton. I'm not sure if they're going to call it. His arm was certainly out and it comfortably hit his elbow and forearm. And the referee is being called over to his little VAR computer. Is this going to be Everton's first penalty in as long as I can remember? It wasn't called originally, but when they bring someone over to the teleprompter, that's usually a good sign that they should call it. His arm is definitely extended. He's nodding. The referee's nodding while talking on the computer. Looks like, is he changing his mind? He's getting some more audio confirmation. It doesn't feel like Everton FC, does it? Okay, what's he calling? Blowing the whistle after VAR review. A penalty. There we go. It looked awkward the entire time for Zuma. He always does, but there's some excellent pressure from Beto to induce that. Credit to him. He's been quite reasonable all game without the finished product. So the real question now, who strikes it? Is it Beto? Is it Doucouré? I know it's Beto's to take. He is the striker, but honestly, I would... Here we go, Blues. It looks like it's Beto to take it. Beto to take it. He's backing up. He's looking pretty nervous, hands on hips, looking up, trying to clear his head, looking straight behind the bars here. Looks like he's not focusing on the keeper. Areola's got his hands up. Yeah, and looks like we're not going with Onana, so Beto looking to strike it here. It's all on him. Let's see. Take it easy now, Beto. This is your chance. We've been waiting for weeks for you. Here we go. Start a step. Oh, no, and Areola saves it. Oh, didn't hit it with conviction, and Areola covered down to his left. Well, I'm not going to have to repeat the what Beto said, but I'm not sure. It started with an F and may have ended with a K. I'm not sure what they're looking at here. They're zooming in on Areola. He looks quite annoyed. I'm not sure if they're doing a replay of the penalty. I'm not hearing the audio here, but potentially Areola came off his line. So it does look like he came off his line. I've always found that a really interesting thing to call on because he looks like he may have gone 1 or 2 yards off the line. So they may be doing a replay here. It's still a little bit too early to tell, and I'm not hearing the audio from the game. Yeah, without the commentary of what they're predicting, it's a little bit hard to tell, but nope, they're not saying that he went off his line, but honestly, Beto's strike wasn't good enough. Match back on. We're at 45 minutes 30. Looks like Everton got another handball, but this one is nowhere near the penalty spot, so no opportunity for Beto to have to get in his own head. It's going to be one of our long set pieces kicked out by Pickford. Dyche looking stressed with his chewing gum. Pickford 2 hands up, clearly going long, going to the right side here. And Tarkovsky usually wins those, but a little bit overhit and double teamed with Zuma, and I couldn't tell the other player. But out for a throw in to West Ham. And we have at least 4 minutes of extra time here in the first half. And on my clock anyway, we're at 46 minutes and 20 seconds. Areola with a long ball to the left side. Who did that knock off? To throw in either way. We're just waiting to see what the linesman calls for it. I think it's going to Everton. Yep, to Everton. These throw-ins we need to get a lot more creative with. We do all this effort to win them, and we give the ball back straight away on possession there. Godfrey with a long hoof ball, really going to no one other than Zuma, who heads it to, I think it was Alvarez for another clearance around halfway. Tarkovsky falling over and Bowen not looking happy, saying, "What's that for?" I'm sure in the match reaction, Prince Rupert, you'll hear a lot more about that. Straight away, it was Beto's to take, but that really should have been someone like a McNeil. Going back post, and another one of these free kicks. Kudus on McNeil. McNeil hands all over him, and Kudus looking excellent through the middle. Now there's a breakaway to Paqueta on the left side. Harrison doing an excellent recovery run right there. Unfortunately, his deflection went against Emerson, and Doucouré didn't track back. Going through the middle for West Ham, looking dangerous. You've got some options. You've got Kudus, you've got Kufal. Kudus shooting, blocked by Branthwaite. Alvarez winning that second ball again to Souček. To Kufal. To get across it, yep. A diving header by Tarkovsky. And the two West Ham guys have a lady in the tramp moment, touching face to face. And that does not look comfortable for Kufal. Looks like he got a... I'm forgetting my words now. When you sort of get the dead leg contact on his thigh, he doesn't look too comfortable. He could probably run that off, but be interesting to see if that's the actual contact. But they have a throw in here at 48 minutes 42. So imagine about 1 more minute of stoppage time or extra time. Kudus with the cross to near post. Zuma won the ball, but it was behind him, so he had to contort his back, and there was no way he was getting that on target. Goal kick Everton. And we're right around the halftime whistle, I think, at 49 minutes. And whistle blown. So camera coverage was on Beto and Areola for that penalty save, right as rightly it should be. We finally got an opportunity to get a goal from a that was well earned. It was a justified. VAR did the right call. His arm was out here. It made contact. Didn't matter. Beto doing all the right things, but he's not in goal scoring form. He's in high effort, good creative inroad for others to score. But he, in my view, and I imagine a lot of you guys, you wouldn't. I don't think he was the one to take it. So who else? Who else from those listening do you think should have taken it? Do you think? I know there's some comments here about yes, DCL is a better penalty taker, but go figure. By the way, we're playing Emma. I don't think that chance would have been created if it was done by DCL the way he's playing. So we wouldn't have got the penalty for DCL to take unless we played with two up front, and we only do that in the last 5 minutes, and we're desperate. And let's be honest, I'm not sure that was ever going to happen. So, was there anyone other than Beto you guys would have preferred to take that penalty? For me, I think either James Garner or Dwight McNeil would have been better. I think Doucouré strikes the ball, but it's kind of rolling the magic 8 ball to say he's on target. I imagine Harrison would have done a little bit better as well, but I haven't seen too many opportunities for him. So, hard to say. But here at halftime, the score is 0-0. What I might do, so bear with me if I'm looking off camera for a moment. I'm going to see if I can refresh the SofaScore ratings for the players and bring up the current lineups and have a look there at the ratings from SofaScore. And if my laptop didn't have some connection issues, I would just do a live screen share of it, but I'm going to get a little graphic set up, so bear with me. So save that, and okay, let's see if we can get a new graphic set up to show what the ratings are on halftime according to SofaScore. So this is what we have. And if it wasn't for that penalty miss, I think Beto, or that penalty opportunity, I think Beto was actually doing quite well for us. Not really too many standouts. I think Alvarez has been on the ball a whole lot for them. Emerson has looked dangerous. I always find it interesting on these algorithms to say who's doing better or worse. I think Kudus has been a standout for them. Paqueta has had more of a journeyman effort because Emerson was out injured for a little bit, and he played on that left side. His crosses haven't been excellent, but he always looks dangerous from the ball. But through the middle, Alvarez has been really good for them, and I think that's why he's on that 7.2. Souček, not that involved. Zuma looking quite awkward, honestly, for this entire match. And Konstantinos Mavropanos he's been involved. He hasn't really stood out either way. Now for Everton, no one really sticking out yet, but it is a 0-0. I would say Pickford on a 6.7 isn't too surprising. He hasn't done a lot on saves wise. I think he had one early on, and then we had, outside of that, Jared Branthwaite has been in a mop-up role, handling possession quite well. The long balls he's been the one that's been bringing the ball through the midfield, through James Garner, and that little triangle combination that you can see between Branthwaite, James Garner, and McNeil. And then Mikolenko actually doing a lot of overlaps there. On the right side, it has looked a lot less comfortable. Not saying Godfrey's done terribly, but he is not at the same time uh, handled the ball in possession that well, and the link up play with him and Harrison hasn't been great. What I would say is for Ben Godfrey and Mikalenko, anytime we're winning the ball up high, we need to come up with a different way to handle those opportunities. A lot of our efforts are based on winning the we're winning throw-ins up the pitch, and then we just give it back, and then we do a long ball to win another header and get another throw-in. So I think that's a big thing for us going forward. I don't know what Dyche's tactics are that right there, but honestly, we need to come up with a different way to score or to look dangerous offensively. Do we have someone that can do the long throw-in? Maybe. Beto has certainly had the best chances for Everton. I've been impressed with the way James Garner and Onana have taken on the game a bit more today. Still sloppy in possession at times, but they're actually playing more of a pivot role, which is what we like to see. We have been diced. I will say it hasn't been as I would say we look a lot better at home than we have done recently, where we looked quite devoid of ideas against Palace. It hasn't been that kind of half for us. Yes, up the Toffees. I would love us to have scored that penalty, and I would be talking a little bit more confidently. And it looks like one of my friends from Australia's come in with his 10 cents, and I think Decore certainly would have been a better option than Beto. But it's either James Garner, Dwight McNeil, Harrison, or Decore. But it was Beto's to take, unfortunately. And while Onana has relegated himself to being the 11th player to strike a penalty after his performance against Fulham in the Cup, not going to let that one down. So some other scores from across the matches, I believe. It looks like Nicholas Jackson scored for Chelsea. They're showing Fulham and Brighton replay right now. Yeah, looking very awkward in the back for Brighton on their goal. Well slotted by not James Potter, what is his name? Wilson for that first goal. Then they looks like they're coming through on the right side. Through Wilson on a left-footed cross to the back post, and an easy header, one for the second through Muniz. So, yeah, Brighton not looking good away today, and they're down 2-0 at halftime. So, something else we can look at while trying to decide how to handle the frustrations of a 0-0 halftime score when Everton, after getting 4 points midweek, the feeling that we finally caught a break with the Premier League. We had an excellent opportunity. Beto tried to cross it to Decore. We had an arm out from Kurt Zuma, so an obvious penalty. VAR caught it. The referee didn't. The referee looked back and was sure it was a penalty. Then Beto struck. It was down to Areola's left. At least it wasn't at the keeper, but it wasn't hit with enough conviction. Areola dove to his left, and I believe he was off his line, but I'm not always 100% sure what's off his line versus, you know what, irrespective of being off your line, Beto needs to have scored that. Yeah. I think we're all feeling that, Kanzi. Well, thank you, Emma. Yeah, I think in-game stats, there's probably a little bit different ways to look at the statistics here. If I can figure out my the interactive, like my laptop, if I try to do too much on screen shares, it kind of cuts out. So I can't do too many interactive graphics, but at least showing a screenshot like this, it kind of gives a holistic view of at least one algorithm's predictions of player performance. But there's a lot more than just SofaScore, but I'm quite comfortable using it. So hence I do. Yeah. And to Kanzi's point, absolutely. Really important 3 points for us if we can get this. I think it's certainly in the bag for us. There was a couple scary moments. Alvarez had a really good strike for them, and there was a header that was off target. I'm forgetting who it was. It may have been Mavropanos, but there was a free header where I think what happened was during the mix up on zonal marking, a player squeezed through and found space because Braithwaite ended up on him, but he was not marking him originally. So I think we've got to be really careful and adaptive, especially in like wet, slimy conditions. All you need is one player to try and grease through a congested 18-yard box and find space. And we need to figure out ways to adapt there. But I think in many respects, the best inroad to goal here has been from Mohamed Kudus. Ward-Prowse has had a few crosses, but hasn't looked too dangerous. Bowen's been largely out of it. I think handled pretty well from Braithwaite and Tarkovsky. The way that Bowen scored last week, he had a hat trick, so we expected that he could be involved, and it's still early to say he won't be. But last week, the goals came because Emerson Palmieri on the left and Vladimir Kufal both were charging up as fullbacks, interacting through the likes of Mohamed Kudus and Paqueta, doing one-touch triangular play that we're very familiar with when Moyes was with us, and they would do a cutback into the channel where Bowen was cleverly in space, and then Bowen's third goal was a little chip where Brentford just didn't have their organization together. It was right after Ben Mee went off injured, and they didn't know how to mark that free space. So when Bowen's scoring headers against you, you know your team's in a bad situation. So one thing else we can look at is here. So if we, for a moment, look at the squad and the lineup, we do have a few options on the bench today. We do not have Adressagana Gay to come on. We have Chimiti, we have Dobbin, we have Calvert-Lewin. Andre Gomez is back. Ashley Young, I don't want to see him on the pitch, but if he were to come on, I would expect it for the likes of maybe a Harrison. If we are up by a goal, I do not want to see him play right back. But as a defensive-minded right midfielder trying to help any double teams, especially if Kudus comes to the left side and gives Godfrey more trouble than Mikolenko, then that could be a way to go. Nathan Patterson is also available, so we have many fullback options. Coleman has been battling that flu, but I think he should be ready and able to come in. So for me and for anyone else here in the comments, Blues, who else do you think would be a good person to bring on? For me, it's either DCL or Chimiti at some point if that penalty really got to Beto. I think Andre Gomez at one point should come in. It might even be for Doucouré if we're trying to save his hamstrings. He has been looking quite dangerous on his first touches. He has had sometimes it's shanking off him, but he has had some excellent first touches. So I think that could be keeping the midfield three for an extended period would be a good idea. But Andre Gomez is that touch of class. We saw that against, I think it was Crystal Palace in the Cup. It was a match devoid of ideas, and Andre Gomez came in. He had his he was able to score that free kick, that wonder strike. He was the difference maker to get us a point against Tottenham. So depending on how the match lines up, if we're down by a goal, I would not expect to see him come in. If we do get down by a goal, I imagine potentially Doucouré, potentially James Garner or Onana, depending on who's looking at a form throughout that match. I think Gomez could well come in, but not expecting a lot of minutes from him. And Kanji talking about Calvin Phillips. Yeah, hasn't worked out for them so far, has it? Maybe a little bit rusty and trying a little bit too hard. I'm not as familiar with the West Ham United bench, but Antonio, I guess he's a little bit like the Beto of Everton, I suppose. Big, can blow through players. Antonio seems to have lost a step in terms of pace, but he's a hardworking number 9 target man that just doesn't convert opportunities. Yeah, Calvin Phillips, maybe they bring him in, but at the rate he's going, and I think he got red carded not that long ago, which is why he's getting that pretty low average rating on SofaScore. I would expect to not see him in, but yeah, if anyone that knows the West Ham lineup or has an opinion on who should come in for the Blues, let me know. So while we're at it, we can also look at some of Everton's upcoming fixtures. So we have West Ham today. Next week will be Man United. The match against Liverpool will be postponed due to their FA Cup involvement and kicked back to a later date. We have Bournemouth against Everton on March 30 away, and we haven't really done too well against them over at their Vitality Stadium, I think that's called. And after that, we have an away trip to Newcastle, a home fixture against Burnley. That's potentially a really important fixture that we need to get points from. Maybe we can repeat the magic away against Chelsea like we did last year when we had Ellis Sims wearing the pink shirt, get a late equalizer at 1-1. Everton at home to Forest. Maybe by that point we have a better understanding of the points deductions. Let's see. After Forest, it'll be getting pretty late there in the season, but who knows how Brentford are doing? They have been really sloppy at the back. Let in 4. When you lose someone like Ben Mee, that's a huge impact to how they're going to go up front. Almost as impactful, honestly, as Ivan Toney. So if they can score a couple goals between Maupay and Toney, great. But I think they're in a lot of trouble. So potentially, depending on how Everton do between now and then, that could be a relegation 6-pointer. Arguably quite similar for Luton away and Sheffield at home. But honestly, by that point, and this is why I said midweek, the result, based on these fixtures, we have a lot of opportunities where it's not just us trying to sneak a point away at Aston Villa or at Man City. So there's a lot of opportunities for us. The point about open play, I certainly feel that. We did have a chance but unfortunately, Beto, he's and you were saying, yes, Rupert, I think Burnley, at least unless the fixtures got rescheduled, we're looking at Burnley on April 6th. And the time zone here, it's a little bit funky because it's the time here in Arizona. So basically today's kickoff on UK time was this 8 a.m. slot. So Burnley would be 1 hour earlier than the kickoff that we have today against West Ham. Looks like the players are back getting set up on the field, getting ready for kickoff for the second half. No indication yet of any substitutions. Let's hope that Beto's confidence isn't completely shattered after that, because he has looked dangerous. You have to give credit where credit's due, that he's given us a lot of opportunities, but if you're not able to convert them, that's been part of Everton's problem. We can try hard, we can run around a bit and do nothing in front of goal, and XG is going to say that again today. Okay, so the kickoff has happened. We're at 45 minutes 10. Ball to Kufau, a diagonal to trying to get to Bowen, but no success there. Handled by Branthwaite, cleared by Mikolenko. We have a header going to Beto, and Doucouré's chasing. Emerson with the inverted chip through the middle. Tarkovsky nailing Paqueta, who rolled around, but no call given. Godfrey on the ball now. A pass through the middle. Turn and go to Doucouré. Tucked into the middle. Looking to Ainana. That's excellent. Now looking out wide to Harrison. Harrison looking for an option. Godfrey as the overlapping runner, not utilized. Crossed in, back post, ball up in the air. Was it a penalty? I doubt it. It looked like a James Garner wanting more, but no foul given. So we are now at 46 minutes for West Ham with the ball. They're not showing. They're just showing James Garner and the foul here. So it looks like Kufal certainly pushed him in the back, but not an obvious error for the referee for VAR, I would say. Looks like Ward-Prowse on the ball now. 46 minutes 20. A short under hit pass. Mikolenko got it. First time to Beto into the middle through Onana. A pass out wide. Oh, that the right idea, but just not a good interchange there from the left wing of Mikolenko. Unfortunately, not on the same wavelength there. It was the right idea, but just need to see better communication and timing of runs and passing between those two. They used to be the avenue in on goal, and they still have that potential, just not right there. So Areola on the goal kick here at 47 minutes goes to the halfway line, and a very theatrical attempt of winning a header against Mikolenko, and Kudus is on a heap on the floor. It looked like Mikolenko just held his ground and Kudus came from the back. Yep. Just a really poorly timed run from Kudus there. And it's not rolling around to say that he was fouled by Mikolenko. It looked like a really painful landing, either with his elbows or... Yeah. So Michael James, I feel that too. I think right now we need to eke out 1-0 wins and keep a clean sheet at the back. Largely been looking pretty solid today. We have been worried about some of the some free headers in the last couple matches, and we saw one again today. So it looks like Brentford have equalized against Chelsea as well. So I'll check that here in a moment. Camera coverage of DCL looking a little bit peeved on the bench, probably thinking, well, if I had that opportunity, I would have scored the penalty. But guess what? You haven't earned that opportunity recently, but maybe putting a fire in his belly to try and prove Dice wrong is exactly what he needs. Okay. Oh, what a strike. Oh, good strike there from McNeil. We have the ball now with Harrison on the right to Godfrey and crossed and blocked. So we have a throw in on the right side. Are we going to just pass it back again to the center backs for the long diagonal, or are we going to come up with something more creative? They're showing the replay now of that strike from McNeil. That was actually quite excellent. He timed it to go between Souček's legs and struck it with some power. So, those in Perth, Australia watching, I guess you'll be able to anticipate my responses before they happen. Usually I think you're 8 hours early, but now I suppose it's only 3 minutes. Okay, ball to Zuma, going back to Areola. Long ball straight to Tarkovsky, comfortably handled, but quite a messy interchange there in the middle. Onana looking quite comfortable. McNeil running through, an overlap by Mikolenko, which is utilized. First time cross, a little bit short, unfortunately. Beto couldn't get to it, but cleared. Kuda's trying to keep the ball in. Looked a bit proppy, probably still from that landing, but Everton back with the ball right around the halfway line. A lot better first touch passing from Everton coming into this half. Doucouré fighting hard and winning it off Alvarez. First time cross, a little bit too short from McNeil. We know Areola isn't comfortable on the ball or on these crosses quite often, but if you're playing like that and you're doing a short one, when someone's going to be physically overwhelmed, a short cross is exactly what the keeper's more comfortable with. So you need to get to that back post and expose Areola a bit more. Paqueta on the ball against Godfrey through the middle. Handled that quite well. Looking like a breakaway here. Ward-Prowse to Kudus. Right on the 18-yard box. What's he going to do with it? Got an overlapping run from Kufal. Doesn't use it. And comfortably blocked by Branthwaite. Again, Branthwaite looking excellent today. No surprise. Maybe that's why Gareth Southgate's trying to prep him for the Euro squad. Kufal has the throw in at 50 minutes 30 here. Looking devoid of ideas, probably going long. Nope, goes back to the option for Alvarez. Back to Kufal. Little dink over the top, handled by Mikalenko. And then to Onana. Here's a breakaway attempt for Everton. Can we do much with it? Ball with Beto. Going wide out to the right for Harrison. Harrison on the ball now. 1-on-1 v Emerson. Is he going to cross early or duck in? He tucked in on his left, but was blocked. Harrison now right by the corner flag. First time cross, blocked again. Well covered by Souček. So throw in for Everton at 51 minutes 15. Ben Godfrey on the ball. Please don't go backwards. He's doing the long ball to Beto, who's shielding, doing quite well. Right into the middle. Oh, good effort from McNeil first time, but he's exposed that he doesn't have a right foot, so he took a little bit longer to try and line himself up on the left and had opportunity for West Ham to block it. Onana through the middle. Poor first touch from Doucouré. Looked like a handball, but not called. McNeil on the ball to Onana. Onana coming through. Right idea. Mikalenko let it run through, but it was slightly too heavy for that maneuver. And Onana's smiling, knowing that he gave him a good ball. So Tarkowski now having it. A little bit of messy play, but Everton have the ball again. Godfrey to James Garner. Looking to play the ball forward to Harrison, who's taken on a pair here of Paqueta and Emerson. Ineffective and lost the ball. Emerson on the ball again to Paqueta toward Prowse. Paqueta on the darting run. They're definitely playing high on that side when they do have the ball. Emerson at the halfway line flicks it over toward Prowse. A nice little header. Bowen trying to flick on, ineffective. He's still out of the game entirely here to me. Emerson with the ball to Bowen. Bowen on that left wing. Looking at the tag team between Garner and Tarkowski. He wins it through. Looking on his left side. Godfrey chasing. And just enough. Man, I felt like I jinxed that for Jared Bowen. He hadn't been looking dangerous at all, and that was his best run of the match. James Garner trying not to foul. Godfrey not to give away a penalty. Tarkowski similar. And Branthwaite is that third member just closing out the space, and Pickford picking it up. Well, thank you, Daniel. So Godfrey at right back to James Garner. Into the middle to Onana. Tarkowski, I'm at 53 minutes and 40 seconds now. Ball back to Godfrey. A ball over the top to the channel. Headed by Alvarez. Very creative bicycle kick, actually. That was really good. To Emerson, but ball went out of play. Trying to hug that touchline, and Paqueta couldn't do much with it. So Tarkowski now has it back at the halfway line at 54 minutes 5. Back to Pickford. No pressure on him, so he had time to move to his preferred left foot. Now Branthwaite on the ball. 54 minutes 17 here. Pickford now on the ball again. Does he go long? Nope. Back to Branthwaite. Branthwaite, what you got to do? Play it low? Yep. A little bit awkward first touch from Doucouré, but back to McNeil and linked up here. Doucouré loses out on the tackle. McNeil wins second effort. McNeil, well chased, well hassled, but no foul given. James Garner giving it to Godfrey. Godfrey to Harrison. Back to Godfrey. Back through the middle to Tarkowski. Godfrey did well to stay out of the way of that to Harrison. And Beto with a bustling challenge. No foul given. Oh, yep, foul given. It looked like he wiped out Alvarez, but it was unfortunately a slightly overhit touch to Beto from Harrison that made it pretty tough. Overhit ball by either Paqueta, Alvarez, and one back now. We have James Garner coming out on the right side. Is he going to cross it? He does. Go! There we go. Beto. 55 minutes. You've earned your stripes, buddy. Let's go. Time to change the banner. 1-0 Everton. The knee slide. That's what we want to see. He's deserved that all match. He was dealing with a lot of flack until that point, and absolutely Excellent header. We'll have to talk you through the replay here as they get to that point. But he's whacking that badge, saying how much he loved Everton while he worked for KFC all those years ago. But yeah, James Garner, a lot more progressive across from that right midfield spot and exposing poor positioning from, I keep saying his name poorly, but that Greek defender was not close enough to Beto. And for the first time in a while, we crossed it more either to the mid post or the back post, because a lot of our crosses have not been testing like that. So excellent cross from James Garner. I think he deserves almost as much credit as Beto for that header. But absolutely. So Prince Rupert, yes, Beto. I would also add yes to James Garner. That cross was exactly what we've been needing all day and haven't been seen. And absolutely right. Get in. Okay, but we can relive the goal, but right now the match is back on. So we're at 56 minutes 55. Zuma with a ball to Kudus. Looks like they've decided to switch wingers and having Kudus test out Godfrey. I'm surprised it took him this long to do that switch, but maybe they did it earlier and I just missed it. But I'm expecting that to be a really interesting duel here between Kudus and Godfrey for the rest of the match. Statistically, Godfrey is the workhorse, lacks distribution. If Kudus is looking dangerous for the rest of this match and it's all about winning tackles, I would not be surprised if Seamus Coleman comes in at about the 65-minute mark. Everton looking dangerous on counterattacks, but unfortunately overhit by Mikalenko. This is going to be a great opportunity for Mikalenko to play high, knowing that he is not dealing with as much of a danger man now that Kudus has switched sides. A lot of opportunity for overlaps now with McNeil and Mikalenko. So Zuma's on the ball, passing it through to Ward-Prowse in the middle. We have centre half looking to pass. Oh, Beto that was a poor pass. Beto on the Kure in the recovery, running through the middle here. Here's another chance for Everton. Well weighted, first time. Let's go. Cross into the middle. Oh, well covered by Areola. That cross was just a little bit under hit, but this is a lot better from Everton on these counterattacks. Harrison's cross right through the middle. Areola, kind of in no man's land, but lucked out because I guess he charged the player striking the ball. If that was hit a little bit further to the back post, Areola would have been way exposed. So in some other news as we're going along, Brentford won, Chelsea won. There is a goal, surprisingly, for Crystal Palace away at Spurs, and it's 1-0 snatch and grab potentially there. So Pickford on the ball, winning it. We're at 59 minutes here. Looks like another counterattack. McNeil blowing through the middle. Harrison out wide as the option. Interesting. That didn't look like a foul. McNeil just fell over. Interesting stat. We're at 56% possession, but Everton and West Ham, we'd prefer not to have. Neither team really wants the ball, but right now Everton are looking a lot more dangerous in possession. We need to get that second goal. This is far from over, Blues. Kufal on the ball. Alvarez now. Zuma on the ball back to, looks like Kufal. Oh, Suchek, sorry. Out wide to Bowen. So they must be alternating who's playing as the false nine and getting Bowen out wide on the right. And then probably playing Paqueta in the middle. Emerson cutting in. Back to Alvarez. Paqueta playing, yes, as that false nine. Kufel to, who's he got? Alvarez. Kurt Zuma with his dangly legs and big and heavy looking gloves. To Kudus into the middle to Alvarez. And Kudus overhitting it. Looks like it's going to be a corner. I'm at 60 minutes and 50 seconds. And the Kuda strike was deflected off Taki's right thigh. Or right calf, sorry. Looks like Kurt Zuma's coming up for this one. Everton anticipating a short corner with Emerson, changing their mind and bringing an extra player back. The cross comes in. 1-1. We've been worried about free headers, and Zuma just exposed us. It is now 1-1. We'll have to watch this replay back. Whoever generated that stat that Everton don't give away free headers, they jinxed Everton's performance, and we need to fix this. So the cross comes in from Ward-Prowse excellently on the head, but who was marking him? It looks like it was a combination of Doucouré and Bed Godfrey. So I'm sure Ryan will come in later and talk about this, but we know the danger men for a lot of these squads, and we have Zuma pushing Bed Godfrey in the back, but that's not enough contact to win a foul, and no one else marking their best header of the ball. Again, I think really poor and unacceptable, and Dyche needs to get his act together. We can't. It's either on the players, but we're not behind closed doors to see the results here. Were you asking for the Everton goal? Was in play, open play. It was a cross from James Garner to a header to Beto. The goal for Kurt Zuma was a well-delivered corner, poorly marked by Everton, and an open header for Kurt Zuma to make the score 1-1. So I will update the banners for a moment. Looks like I've getting more involved in the Everton result than all the other results, but can you hear me? Forest Liverpool still saying 0-0. As we said, Palace up 1-0 away against Spurs. Maybe it is that new manager bounce. Maybe it's the lack of the old manager is all that needed. But they do have Eze back today, so maybe that made the difference there. I am at 63 minutes and 20 seconds. Taki with a hefty sliding tackle to tell Kudus he's not getting anywhere near us. Well, thank you, Michael. I think one of the challenges here is depending on the coverage and the time and the timing of the different TV coverages. Either I'm ahead of you guys, you're ahead of me, but generally speaking, if you're just listening along, there's no spoilers involved at all. So Doucouré on the ball, right around 64 minutes into McNeil. Oh, excellent strike. Unfortunately, a little right at mid height. Areola looking comfortable on these. He's a reasonable shot stopper. We know that. He proved that on the penalty, but it's all about the corners and headers. But this McNeil strike, these are starting to look more like what he was doing last season. But unfortunately, it was at mid-goal height, so very comfortable for the keeper. You either need to have a postage stamp strike like what Emerson did last week, actually, or something lower with a bounce that's harder to predict for the keeper. That height, unfortunately, even though it was sweetly struck with a bit of backspin, not going to beat Areola from that distance. But really promising to see. So Kudus on the ball on the left side, crossing it. Oh, that was almost uncomfortable between Pickford and Branthwaite, but well collected. A basketball hoof throw, but ineffective to McNeil. So Kufau's now on it. 64 minute 53 crossing in. Free header. Everton, how are we giving away free headers to Paqueta? He's not big enough. Of all players to give a free header to, I suppose Paqueta, he's not the risk. This is interesting, ladies and gentlemen. At 65 minutes 10, Calvin Phillips, the prodigal son of Leeds that was released from Man City through loan, is coming in for James Ward-Prowse, which a bit of a head scratcher to me. I think Ward-Prowse is exactly what they need right now, but maybe Moisey feels that Prowse is running out of legs, and every counterattack he's getting shown up, and the only time he's looking dangerous is on set plays. I'm not in Moyes' head. I need a Scottish accent to do so. And unfortunately, my accent's a little bit too hybrid for that. Anyway, back on the ball. Amadou Onana passing it to Tarkovsky. Tarkovsky looking for the right out ball. James Garner making himself available in the middle to Decore. Takes a turn to Harrison. Much better build-up play this week from the Blues. And then I say that, and Harrison just times his pass horribly wrong and gives it away. I'm at 66 minutes 10. Zuma passing it. Trying to chip it long, but Branthwaite wins the header over to Onana, back to Mikolenko, back to Branthwaite. And James Garner making himself available in the middle again. He has opportunities to make more of a pivot rather than just a touch back to the defender, but maybe it's loud at Goodison and that we can't hear anything. As we'll have to look at the end of this match, and I can put some stats together, but trying to bring up figures right now is going to be a bit tricky, but looks like we're in 16th as of now. Okay, so Taki on the ball at 66 minutes 55 for me. Well weighted pass, and not the same for McNeil. A little bit overhit to Decore, but well recovered from Mikolenko. Back to Branthwaite. So comfortable interchange there. Onana makes his turn. A chip ball, well weighted actually to Decore. Yeah, a lot more comfortable in the midfield today, which is great to see. Just need to do more with these now. James Garner to Ben Godfrey. Probably passing back. Yep, back to Garner. And the through ball was intercepted. Now it's Kudus on the counter-attack. To Sufal. To... Who's that? Calvin Phillips on the ball. New figure to recognize on the small screen. What's interesting now is it looks like West Ham are playing in a back three formation, probably allowing for more width from that right side. So Pickford on the ball, rolls it to Onana, over to that left midfield side. It looks like James Garner on the ball, running forward. Love to see this. Decore, slightly wrong spot for that one, but we win the... No, okay, West Ham win the throw-in. At 68 minutes and 27 seconds. Throw-in down their byline. Onana wins the ball back. James Tarkovsky now darting forward. A little bit overhit, but recovered by Harrison. It's a good possession play there. To Godfrey, to Onana, to Beto. Is he striking it? He is indeed. Oh, that was close. Looked like it may have just deflected off Emerson's foot. So it didn't have a lot of power. So it was really awkward for Areola. And he's tipped it wide for a Everton corner kick. Beto with his hands up, trying to hype up the crowd. James Garner, maybe he can deliver another sweet cross with the right weight into Beto this time. Interesting that we're not packing in Areola and making him uncomfortable. A lot of players on the back post for this one. We're starting on the back post anyway. Okay, now we're crowding him. There we go. Oh, almost a save off the line. Harrison crossing it back in. Looks like it deflected off Emerson. Let's see the strike. And McNeil, unfortunately, he's left-footed. His right foot is a work in progress, and you'll see that with the strike. It was unfortunately a little bit shanked. It looks like on the replay here, it was saved off the line, maybe from Calvin Phillips. We're claiming it was over line, as we always would. But it looks like it was... No, it was... Suchek covered it. Looks like it wasn't past the line, unfortunately. But those are the kind of sloppy chances that I think, other than these counter-attack opportunities that we had with James Garner running through the middle like that, I think that's going to be our inroad to goal, is make them uncomfortable. We're a little bit bigger. We're a little bit more mobile. And Areola's not comfortable on handling some of this. So James Garner looks nicked like a clip on the ankle, and he's on the ground here. Let's have a look back. So it was a matchup between Paqueta and Mikalenko, and Paqueta won the ball back, but he took out Garner in the process. So a flustered Sean Deitch, but it's a tricky one. He won the ball, but he took out that player in the process. Brentford are up 2-1 against Chelsea, everyone. I'm not sure if anyone's been watching the scores there, but on a week that we have some positive results. We got 4 points back that we weren't expecting, but we wanted, and we got them. We've gained a point here, but right now with Crystal Palace and Brentford, the impact of those 4 points doesn't have the same ring to it. So hoping for Everton to get all the 3 points here and Palace to give up an equalizer to Spurs. And yeah, let's go back to the game though. So we're at 71 minutes 51. Won by Beto to Harrison. Harrison looking for options, going to Onana. Onana taking the easy road out. He could have used his right foot to pass through the middle, but didn't. Went back to Tarkovsky, who's now got the ball looking for probably a long diagonal. Oh, okay. Nicely passed right through the heart here. To McNeil on the right. Harrison, first time cross on the right foot, deflected by Emerson. Back to Areola. Branthwaite holding strong, winning the header. Oh, overhit by Tarkovsky to Garner. So here's a counter-attacking option to Kudus. Tarkovsky with it. Pickford, excellent recovery. Pickford looking pumped up as he absolutely should. That was a golden opportunity right there at around 72 minutes 30 for Mohamed Kudus to get us 2-1 up after a sloppy pass from Tarkovsky to Garner. Gave them an inroad to goal. It was a really well-timed cross. First time touch on the right pec. Godfrey did just enough to get it away from Kudus and Pickford away for a corner kick, which is now being taken by Bowen at 73 minutes and 10 seconds. 5 corners today for West Ham and 3 for Everton so far. A short corner to Paqueta to Bowen, looking to Kudus. Look like that was a mix-up there. That might be an opportunity. And it looks like a cross. Nope, not a cross. Trying to pump fake here. And McNeil handled Paqueta excellently. And Paqueta shaking his head, realizing he should have just crossed it early because McNeil's a good defensive winger at times, and he showed it right there. So, got to give credit. Doucouré looks like he might be coming off for DCL. Or is it for Beto? Looks like either clapping and standing ovation for those who weren't already standing at Goodison for Beto today. So DCL coming on right here at the 74th minute. DCL, this is your time to prove that someone else can score that isn't you as a striker. You better prove your worth or you're not starting next week. So please score us a winner and get Wes and I's prediction of 2-1 to be correct, huh? So Pickford on the ball, 74 minutes 23. Branthwaite back to Pickford. Pickford to Branthwaite. A long diagonal to the wing. Slightly overhit, so back to West Ham it is. A little bit of a shake of the head. As long as we're not doing these long diagonals to the corner flag or the touchline all the time, I think it does shake up the Everton attack and make us look more dynamic. But we have to, and I've loved to see it today, a lot more possession through the middle and darting runs, and seeing McNeil and Garner looking a lot more comfortable there. So Tarkovsky winning the ball off Souček, who's never really comfortable playing that high. Pickford now bombing it long. Header won by DCL. The next header won by their full center half. Looks like Onana winning the ball to Garner. A low, well-timed through ball to Doucouré. He's on that left side. First time. Oh, let's have a strike. Godfrey, let's go. Yep, that's why you're... Unfortunately, we know that's not your strength. That was a good counter-attacking play, though. Doucouré looking quite dangerous on that left side, exposing their right center half, the Greek fella. James Garner with a really well-weighted ball to Doucouré to make that happen. So that's really nice to see. DCL on the right spot, but Areola had it covered, but made it uncomfortable. And if it was anyone other than, I suppose, Godfrey or a left-footed McNeil, that was an excellent on a platter for a half volley to be snuck home, but not to happen. Tarkovsky long diagonal to Decore. Looks like he was offside. It is interesting. I think we're seeing Decore and McNeil swap positions a lot now, and having McNeil come through through the middle as that central attacking midfielder rather than the winger, giving a few different looks. Decore has more pace and legs than I imagine at this point, especially with the high possession or or high progressive play on West Ham's right side. Kufau might be starting to run out of legs. So that's an interesting way to expose that. We've had a few runs down that side recently. Okay, throw in now at 77 minutes to West Ham by our halfway line. Paqueta looking really devoid of ideas, dejected, and I love seeing that. The second he looks excited is when danger happens. So when he's dejected, that's a chance for us. Oh, Tarkovsky, you set up Harrison. Almost recovered, but Tarkovsky's ball in the middle there was a little bit risky, let's say, right around that 77-minute mark to Harrison, but Harrison did just enough to recover and make it not look like a poor pass through the middle again. Decore looking for options, running through the middle, tucking it back to Garner, to Mikalenko, back to James Garner. Is he going to cross it? Crosses to back post. Nope. In between two minds there. He had Harrison and DCL to choose from and overhit the ball to DCL and straight to the keeper. So we're at 78 minutes. Alvarez on the ball. Back to Zuma. Alvarez looking really comfortable on the ball. They're running through the middle. Someone has to take him out here. Interesting. It looked like he was fouled, and then they called play on, and then the referee said, well, we gave you advantage. So he was quite upset, but I'll take it. Kudus in the ball. Darting through the middle to Souček to Kudus. A little bit of contact, but never enough to get a penalty, and he knew it. He just fell to the ground. And well chased by Godfrey. I was worried that this would be a dangerous scenario, and I guess we're kind of right. But the times Godfrey's been exposed, it was due to a turnover that wasn't on Godfrey from a possession standpoint or marking standpoint. Areola is having quite the game. It's very capable for Everton to make him not have the game he's having, but we're giving him all the opportunities by how we're delivering the ball to him. It appears that it's 1-1 at the Tottenham Stadium as well. So they have equalized against Palace and 1-1. Okay, we're looking for a way to shake things up, and Andre Gomez is coming on for Jack Harrison here at about 79 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm curious to see who goes to the right. I imagine it might be James Garner going to right midfield, and then having Onana, Decore, and Gomez through the middle but they have been alternating positions. Antonio also coming on. I can't recall who he came on for though, but we have Antonio on the pitch. Oh, it looks like it was for Paqueta. So either he was dejected of ideas or lacked energy because he has been injured for a little while and is just coming back. So maybe that's what we're seeing here. Tottenham have scored again to be now up 2-1 to Palace. So great news there. I will update the ticker. Kurt Zuma winning the header. Antonio looking dangerous. Here's a one-on-one chance. Is that a penalty? No, Branthwaite got the ball, it looks like. So well tackled from Branthwaite. Credit to him. Bowen didn't, and credit to him for not claiming a penalty that wasn't one. I'm at 80 minutes 35. Everton 1, West Ham 1. Antonio looking no way. That was really poor from Antonio. knocked it past Branthwaite and then ran into him and fell over. And it looked quite embarrassing for Antonio, and Branthwaite told him so. Alvarez looking quite good again in the central midfield, but ball given back to us. Gomez on the ball to Ghana, taking a strike, but right at Kurt Zuma. Kudos on the ball again on the turnover. Suchek to the right wing. Looks like Jared Bowen now playing as their right midfielder rather than the false nine. Taking on McNeil. McNeil's sliding challenge was excellent. Antonio awkwardly bundling over Tarkovsky. But we have the ball here through the middle. Andre Gomez looking for options. Looks like he's taking his time. Left-footed pass to DCL. Out on the right side. Got loads of space. But what's he going to do with it? Tucking it back to the middle to Gomez. Strikes it with his left foot. A little bit short on power. He is right-footed, so that left-footed strike is probably the difference maker right there. But it was good to see. We've been talking about ways to test the keeper. So we had McNeil strike not that long ago with good venom on it, but right at the wrong height and easy for a save. A bouncing ball like that is a lot more tricky for a keeper to take on, but with the pace on that strike, it wasn't going to be enough to beat him, and it wasn't well positioned. It was a little bit too central on the goal. Tarkovsky on the ball now on 82 minutes and 24 seconds here. Passing the ball to Ben Godfrey, to James Garner, who has gone to the right side. A ball over to DCL. Looking for a passing option on the right wing, been running out of options, and really poor from DCL. Took too long to release it and didn't get the pass he wanted, and giving it straight to Kudus, who's making a darting run and a diagonal to Bowen. And that was way too close. Pickford handled it well, but that was very close to being the type of chance that Bowen would have nicked on us. So for those just coming in now, we're at 83 minutes. We had a goal from Beto with an excellent cross from James Garner to put us up 1-0, and the equalizer from West Ham came from a corner from James Ward-Prowse, and somehow a free header in the inopportune spot coming to Kurt Zuma and equalized to 1-1. Brentford and Chelsea have now updated the score to 2-2. So some good results, result changes for Everton right now. Brentford losing out on a potential 2 extra points if they go from a winning position to a draw. In other matches, Fulham are up 2-0 to Brighton still. Newcastle are up 2-0 to Wolves. Forest and Liverpool are holding a 0-0 draw. Doucouré making a attacking run here, but a little bit overhit, and Areola getting there before James Garner on 84 minutes 12. Emerson to Kudus. Kurt Zuma to the Greek fullback. I'm sorry, I can't get his name right to save myself. It looks like Alvarez is kind of playing as a back 3 member with Calvin Phillips, and they alternate. So they're trying to play, DCL won the ball back. Does he have the legs? He does not. So back to Areola here at 84 minutes 51. I really think we need to bring on another substitute, but I'm not sure it'll happen. Onana with the ball here. A diagonal through ball, but that was a 3-on-1 to James Garner. Never really going to look good here. And yeah, Michael James, I feel like we've been looking flat for a little bit here. Funny enough, the second Beto came off. It has made an impact. Antonio, that was belted right at Pickford's pectoral muscles, and he had to quickly recover. We have the ball again. McNeil darting through the middle, passing it to Doucouré, who's playing out right. Now Garner's come through the middle. Is he going to take it on himself? Oh, come on, Garner. That was poor. DCL Out wide to Mikalenko, across the back post. Come on. Nope, to Gomez. He's looking for something to do. Shoot cross right at Areola, and Onana did not earn his paycheck on that strike. Way over the ball. Way over the bar there. Some Everton fans saying some crass words. First word F, second word off. Probably relating to the fact that we were up 1-0, we were pumped, and it's feeling like ever since we gave away that goal, we've been making all the effort, but have been devoid of a final product. Oh, I forgot to add the ticker back. Apologies. So I'm at 86 minute 40 here. Antonio wins the header, but straight to Tarkovsky. Chested down by Gomez to Onana, to Ghana, and now we have Doucouré on the ball on the left wing. Get a take on Kufal. Passes and overhit, unfortunately, to McNeil. Looking gassed. We need to get him off for Dobbin right now, I think. James Garner is still looking a danger, and I think he's been a good shining light for us today. So I think getting McNeil off is the right call at the moment. We'll see if it happens. One point is better than zero, but certainly I'd rather 3 points right now, and it's ours for the taking. They're not looking that good themselves other than Kudus. Emerson playing an advanced position now on that left side. Wheeling the ball back, though. Onana starting this counterattack. DCL running in. He's got McNeil through the middle. Is he going to use him, or is he going to duck back to Doucouré? No, he chooses neither. Little pass to DCL. Have a strike. And blocked. Andre Gomez, one too many touches. Clearly, you didn't hear Goodison call man on, did you? And looks like he may have been offside anyway after his pass. Calvin Phillips patting on the back for Souček on some good defending. Alvarez has looked good all day. Souček hasn't really stood out to me. I think Paqueta was looking flat. Bowen is looking, I suppose, more involved on that right wing now. And a score update. Tottenham are now up 3-1 against Palace. So I'll update the ticker, and I think that's the type of score we were hoping for and expecting. So it looks like Palace are going to get nothing from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium today. Doucouré looking like a menace again on that left side. Little dink over the top to DCL, off his thigh, right on the touchline. Who's he got? He's got Gomez in the middle. That's a good option. Does a little pirouette and spin, passes it back to Onana. Doucouré gives it back to Onana again. Very flat-footed through the middle right now. Andre Gomez looking for an option to Mikalenko out wide. Should have released that first time. Mikalenko now back to Gomez. To Onana. He's trying to take it on himself. Stop, start. Back to Mikalenko, who's looking for passing options. Onana, very uninteresting possession. Very flat-footed. And Jimmy Garner goes for a strike, but well tackled by Alvarez. He's been excellent for them. And Areola, if you're into fantasy Premier League, yes, he gave up a goal, but he's probably earning quite the tally today with all of his saves and that save in the first half that Beto should have scored with that the first penalty in, as long as I can remember, maybe this entire year for us. We're at 90 minutes. I'm waiting to see how much extra time we have. Looks like 5 minutes of extra time have just been posted. Antonio taking on Mikalenko and Branthwaite here at 90 minutes and 20 seconds. Antonio into the middle. Cleared by Godfrey. Calvin Phillips on the ball now. Out wide to Emerson and Kudus. Kudus taking on Godfrey with a bit of space, crossing way to the back post. Handled on the chest of... Oh, no. That was an excellent goal. And Everton are down 2-1. But credit to him, that was an excellent strike. But Everton have missed their opportunities, and we've got probably 5 minutes to say, how the hell are we going to get a goal here? We look devoid of ideas. We're lacking legs. Our passing options have felt really limited, and West Ham know how to tuck in. Not that dissimilar from us. Maybe we just bomb it in the box. What do we think, Blues? We've got 4 minutes here. I'm trying to not rage on TV. I'm just trying to come up with options. I think maybe we take Chimiti on right now, take off McNeil, and we go guns a-blazing, just trying to set up some long balls and try to make Areola uncomfortable for the last few minutes. Anyone else got any other ideas? Because I'm feeling this as well. This is feeling exactly like I'm at. What this is, we were looking up for it, and now we gave this away. Fulham have just scored again and are up 3-0 to Brighton. We're now on my clock here. We're at 92 minutes. I suppose it's hard to forever blow bubbles in the rain, but I'm sure someone is blowing bubbles in the West Ham camp. They're up 2-1 against Everton. Souček scored after a cross from Kudus that seemed overhit, but there was a free man at the back post, but really well taken from someone that I was saying it was having a poor game. But even a poor performance can be changed really quickly when you score. And a little bit too late, Sean Dyche. And we have Lewis Dobbin coming on for McNeil, but that was... And we have Yusuf Chimiti coming on for... I'm waiting to see who. Oh, Abdoulaye Doucouré. Yeah, Doucouré has been providing that option, but this feels way too late, and a really frustrating giveaway here that we're giving matches away. And Pickford getting a yellow card. Not sure what that's for, other than just being moody. Zuma winning the header, and then Kudus on their left side, a long diagonal. Branthwaite on the ball, back to Pickford. Antonio not looking that dangerous. Lucky for us. Pickford on the ball to Mikalenko at 93 minutes 35. A questionable ball that Chimiti did well with. Winning a corner, it appears, at 93 minutes and 48 seconds here. Jimmy Garner on the ball, taking this corner. 2 hands up. Hopefully he gets it to the back post. Come on, Blues. Let's get right now. Oh, and it's short. Terrible by James Garner right there. We need better. Now it's going in for a throw-in, but looks like they may be doing a retake. Referee's got his hand pointed at something. Hard to tell what. So maybe it's another retake of this corner. Moyes looking quite bereft. I'm sure the follow Everton cohort going to the match are not happy right now. Heavy rain, down 2-1. Another short corner from James Garner. This is really not... I was giving him a lot of credit for how he's done today, and this is not looking good. Looks like a counter-attack. 3-on-2. Bowen to Alvarez. And Alvarez... 3-1. I think man of the match today. No one from Everton. I was going to give it to James Garner until he just crapped the bed in the last minute. He's had a few really good deliveries, was running really well throughout today, and he had 2 poor corners in a row. And then I'm not sure what happened, but he had a terrible pass into the middle, and West Ham all over that really poor pass back. So my and that feeling, Paul. Yeah, West Ham aren't that great. They have similar style players, but when you give balls away like we have done, you get burnt. And right there, that was all. James Garner deserves 100% of the blame for that. 2 poor short corners in a row, everyone up forward and committing. Then he wins the ball back, and instead of releasing it, he gives a bonehead pass through the middle, and West Ham were all over it. And credit to Alvarez, that was a really good chip off his right the outside of his right foot. For a central defensive midfielder, we have not seen that level of composure at all, have we? I haven't seen it from Onana. We certainly didn't see it from James Garner right now. I guess I don't want to rag on him too much because he was doing better earlier, but the last 5-10 minutes, we were talking about who to take off as a winger because Doucouré was busting it got out wide, and it just really wasn't panning out for him. And in the end, James Garner and McNeil were worthy of being subbed off, in my view. Onana has really looked devoid of creative ideas in this second half for me. Looks like Dobbins on the ball, passing it to Gomez, back to Onana. Mikalenko trying to make an effort, crossing it right off Alvarez, but comfortably covered, hands away from it. Bowen giving him a little nudge, but really weak contact. Liverpool sneaking a win against Nottingham Forest here at the final whistle. They win 1-0. Tottenham won 3-1. Brentford drew with Chelsea 2-2. Fulham full-time 3-0 against Brighton. Newcastle 3-0 against Wolves. Andre Gomez here at 97 minutes 40. Probably a last-ditch free kick. Let's see if he can beat the first man. And here we go. Oh, and go figure, we can't even bounce it. And that's full-time here, I think. No? Wait. Is it full-time? No, it's still playing. Gomez with his... How is his opposite foot so much better than his set plays off his right? This is... If I was at Goodison, I'd be raging. I'd love to go to a match. I hardly can go, but talk about a letdown. We're up 1-0. With Beto finally on the score sheet. We had all the momentum. We give away a cheap free header, an excellent second goal, and it is full-time now. West Ham win 3-1 against Everton. A really deflating second half here. So I'm sure we're going to come up here with the post-match reaction here in not too long a time. So I might finish this and get the post-match set up. A really frustrating result here, Blues. We were up 1-0 through, and Beto missed a penalty, so we should have been up 1-0 at halftime. We weren't. Beto scored from James Garner. This excellent cross, and that all of a sudden the squad performance, we just tank. Very similar to Brighton. We have a lead and we bottle it. We bottled it right here, where we had 3 goals against Everton in not that long a period. An excellent cross from James Ward-Prowse, but how someone like Kurt Zouma is free in the box is completely unacceptable, but it happened. And then we had 2 other goals. A Kudus darting run, crossing to the back post, where there was a free Souček. It wasn't close to the box, so to blame the marking is a little bit tricky, and I have to look it back, but that was an excellent strike. And then we went, I suppose, Everton's hell for leather. We don't have that many options, but honestly, James Garner giving he got an opportunity with that first cross, shanks it, gets the second opportunity, does worse, gets the ball, passes it through the middle, and we're out 3-1. So I will. I'm going to end the stream here, fellow Blues, and keep an eye out for the next show. I think it was meant to start now, but I think we'll probably be a few minutes behind since of all the extra time. Okay. So anyway, thank you, Blues, and see you shortly.